Hello, everyone. I wanted to come on because I get these messages in my sleep, and it's always so exciting when I do. Because the way it comes in, I can feel so deep, and I always get up and I put it in my phone so that I can meditate on it. And this message the other night was huge. It is people are reacting to everything and everyone from the pain in their body, not their light. I'm going to say that again. People, you can think of your family, your friends, the world at large, people out there, are reacting to everything and everyone from the pain in their body, not their light. What does this mean? It means that if we are not conscious, if we are not embodied, breathing deeply to own what is ours, when triggers happen, we don't blame. We breathe into it, knowing that it's an energy inside us, because life is always reflecting to us what we're carrying inside. So when we have that as a practice, then we are operating from our sense of unity, of wholeness, knowing that when we're triggered, we breathe into it and it can be transmuted and we can vibrate at a higher vibration and frequency. That's because we're conscious, even with just the intention to be conscious, to take responsibility for what is ours. What is ours? That is one aspect. But if we're not conscious, then that means that we're bumping up against people and places and situations and reacting. And we're reacting based on the pain inside, the trauma inside, the stories inside. For me, when I think of it in this way, I have a tremendous amount of compassion. Why am I going to criticize or judge someone, even if they're hurting me, even if they're an asshole? Why would I judge them if really they just don't know who they are and they're operating from their pain points, which is a lot of the world? Does it make the behavior right? No, but I get to choose because I am living consciously and I'm recognizing when I'm reacting from the pain in my body. If someone doesn't know and they're just living in that reactive state, that's not living, that's just surviving. So people in the world right now are reacting to circumstances, to a diagnosis. They're reacting to their relationships and what may have just occurred. They're watching the news and judging and pointing fingers. Maybe they're looking at their neighbor or something that is happening, and again, pointing on this seeming outside. All of that is reacting based on pain inside. If you were operating from unconditional love, if you were operating from wholeness, from oneness, there is no other. This is the power of our choice. So when someone is reacting, expressing, or even something on the news that triggers me, that's because of an energy that I'm holding inside. If you are judging the news, a political party, a partner, it has to do with the energy that you are holding. And it's an energy, obviously, that isn't love. Because if it was love, you wouldn't be triggered. You would have compassion. You would know that there's no fixing the outside, that there's only meeting yourself on the inside. Think of the world that we could live in if we just kept owning the energy that we're holding inside. And some of it's not even all ours. It's our conditioning. It's our upbringing. It's our lineage. But when you are the conscious one, this is, I don't want to call it your job. I want to call it your opportunity. Because you are that powerful to breathe into it and let it be transmuted for you, for your lineage, for the collective. It's easy to point the finger. It's easy to judge. It's easy to watch the news, side with a political party, and feel justified. Where does that get you? More divide, more hatred, and any judgment cuts you off from oneness, cuts you off from love, period, the end. You cannot be in love and fear. You cannot be in judgment on a side and in oneness where God is. It is not possible, and it is all your choice. So for me, I get excited when I have a trigger. When the news is on, which it rarely is, I breathe into, what does this bring up in me? How am I contributing to this? How can I see this from a higher perspective? How can I bring love and compassion to this? And I can only do that within myself. But when I do, and when you do, if you so should choose to, this is the higher frequency, the higher vibration that moves the freaking mountains. Even a small opening is an opening and the light comes in. Any judgment, any criticism, any pointing of the fingers, any taking sides is closure. You may not like this. It's just universal law. It's just God's law. And you have a choice to live in alignment with God under God's law, or to live in separation in alignment with the ego, with the limited thought system, where there is hatred and division. And when you do choose that, consciously or unconsciously, and you're in alignment with that ego thought system, that separation, you are contributing to the war, the dis-ease, the dysfunction, the divide, because you're in that lower vibration, because you're in separation consciousness. So would you be willing to go inward, to breathe more deeply, to get to know the language of your body, to ask the higher questions? What does this bring up in me? What's here for me to own, to breathe into, to heal, to embrace, to feel? Show me the higher perspective. Show me the way. Does it mean that you can't be angry or upset? You can, and you can be asked to be shown the higher. And by asking and being willing, it's already done. This is how we create, co-create the new earth. This is how love and light shines forth to help humanity awaken. Not by being perfect, not by doing what's right necessarily, by feeling what you need to feel and choosing to operate from oneness, from unity, taking responsibility for what's yours, breathing into it rather than away from it. You don't have to understand it. Thank you for listening. And if you want to hear more, listen to my podcast or follow me on my channels.